questions we're trying to answer are: how do cultural and political systems create inequality? Who rules? Who gets power? And who has a voice? As well as, how can people both individually and collectively break out of the box? Our map is based on Junior. He is a Native American boy who lives on a poor reservation, has a medical condition called hydrocephalus, which is too much cerebral spinal fluid in his brain. This is essential to one of our questions because even though he has this condition, he still decides to play basketball even though he shouldn't. Mr. P, Junior's teacher, showed concern for him and told Junior, "You're going to find more and more hope the farther and farther you walk away from this sad, sad, sad reservation." Junior took this to heart and decided to move to Reardon High School. When Thuy and I went to Shopko to survey community members, it took us an hour to survey 2 people because we were afraid, but we broke out of our comfort zone and powered through. Before Junior even arrived to Reardon, he was already facing challenges getting there because of how poor he was. Sometimes Junior would have to ride the bus to the reservation line and or walk because his parents didn't have enough money for gas, hitchhike, or stay home from school.
When I was a kid in kindergarten, my mom would make me stay home from school because I was too young to walk home alone.
The first day Junior arrived to Reardon, he was disrespected by his so-called classmates. They called him Chief, Sitting Bull, or Squaw Boy. Junior felt like he didn't belong because of his clothes and his appearance. No one acknowledged him, and all of this made him feel like he had no voice, no say in anything. In this book, we're introduced to Mary. Later on in the book, Mary married a man and moved to Montana. Mary knew her potential, so she decided to move to Montana for a better life. This was a huge deal because nobody leaves the reservation, and she didn't tell anyone until she got there. Junior thought he had influenced her decision of moving because he moved to Reardon. Mary sent Junior a letter and told him that in Montana, both the whites and Indians were nice.
When I was 7, my family moved to Iowa because my dad had a friend who told him that there were jobs available and they also paid better than they did in California.
Another person we were introduced to was Junior's grandmother, Grandmother Spirit. The Indians on the reservation started to have the same morals as the whites, but Grandma Spirit kept her way of thinking. Indians can be just as judgmental and hateful as any white person, but not my grandmother. While at Reardon, Junior fell in love with someone who had a voice, Penelope. At first, she didn't care or acknowledge Junior, but once she started to like him and thought of him differently, Junior became different. It took one word and he suddenly became popular. Penelope had publicly declared that I was cute enough to almost date. All the other girls in the school decided that I was cute too. I got to hold hands with Penelope and kiss her goodbye when she jumped on the school bus to go home. All the other boys in the school decided that I was a major stud. During the rematch against Welpin, a local news crew wanted to interview Junior about how he felt about playing against Rowdy again. His voice also mattered when he was useful to the Reardon basketball team because he was a good shooter. Throughout the book, there were many examples of inequality. The ones that we picked up were when Junior's dad was driving through Reardon, he was stopped 3 times in 1 week for DWI, driving while Indian. Another inequality shown was when Junior was in science class, he corrected Mr. Dodge about petrified wood, and instead of giving credit where credit is due, Mr. Dodge gave credit to Gordy. We hope our mind map has given you a better understanding of the themes in this great book.